What's up, everybody? I am coming to you from my kitchen today, and this is just kind of the boat that we're in. We all are staying home, we're quarantined, trying to abide by the rules of this coronavirus pandemic, but also still trying to keep my business afloat and keep mixing and recording songs, which is good. The studio is shut down right now. The Tennessee governor asked all of Tennessee businesses to stop working that were not essential. The studio falls under that, even though I disagree with that maybe a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. We all love music, and I think, well, maybe I would say, if it's not essential, what are you listening to in your car on the way to work? I don't know. Anyways, that's a joke, but seriously, I want to abide by those rules and follow through with that kind of stuff. And so I'm not having clients at the studio. All my sessions are canceled until this thing changes or gets better, but I have brought some gear home from the studio so that I can accomplish some work. I've still got clients that are emailing me and asking me to mix songs for them, and so I brought home some of the gear from the B room. Now, I could still go to the studio and mix, but one of the reasons why I did this is because my kids are out of school and it's just much more comfortable for them to be at home, and so we are making do. And so I brought my speakers home, I brought my interface home, and I took a little Sonar Works trace of the kitchen, and we are mixing. And so I want to show you how I've got this set up and how we are making the best of a terrible situation and still making good sounding music. All right, y'all. So this is the kitchen, kind of the dining room side of the kitchen. Got a little painting there. Obviously, this is where we normally entertain guests and have dinner or whatever. But we actually kind of have a double kitchen, so the family has been eating over on that side, so that I could take over this side and have just used the dining room table. And as you can see, this is like a kind of a very makeshifty type setup. I've got my speakers at ear level on books, which actually seems to really decouple the speakers from the table actually better than I thought that it would anyways. I'm not going to say that it's perfect or anything like that, but I feel like that I hear the low end really good, and my Sonar Works trace actually doesn't have a lot of holes in it, and that's why that's kind of why I have the speakers spaced out like they are. I measured, and I've got almost from the front of the boxes, and these are front ported, I've got almost 3 feet to the back wall. And you know, it's not treated in here, but it is a big room with high ceilings, and it's really, really deep. So, you know, we've got the island in the section. There's my daughter, and there's some of our camera gear. But yeah, so it's a really, really deep room, and you know, nearly 20 feet. So it's working out pretty good, you know, and I've only been mixing in here for a few days, but had several clients have said, hey, great mix, you know, just change this one thing, or even had some mix ones get accepted on the first thing that I turned in. So I'm happy about that. So basically I have brought only what I absolutely needed. And as we kind of fly in here and look at the desk, we've got the Universal Audio Apollo, and I'm just propping the monitor up on top of that, and I've got my Saint Rock React IR because I do have some stuff that I need to, some guitars that I need to track, and that lets me track late at night and use different cabinets that I've got impulse responses of, and then I've got the MW1 Studio Tool that I can use as a DI and reamping box if I want to, and so I'm using that. For my speaker control, I'm using what I've used forever in the B room, which is just a passive little Mackie big knob that just lets me have a dim and a mute and a mono. I mix a lot in mono. I start for the first 30 or 40 minutes of every mix, and so having just the functionality of mono is super important to me. And then over here I've got the Presonus fader port that I've had forever. Just use that for some basic automation moves where I need to not draw it with the mouse but kind of feel it out. And then over on this side of the table we've got the Kensington trackball, which I would be lost without. And so that's it, just a very, very bare bones setup as far as that stuff goes. And then I do have some MIDI programming to do for a couple of things that I'm working on, and so I brought my Arturia Keylab home and been working through with some of that. And then if we come over here to this side of the kitchen, I brought just basic guitar stuff home that I needed just so that I could, one, practice for my own sanity's sake, but also do have a few guitar tracks to cut for some people. So if we can just show you that really quickly. This is my G&L, and that is a ASAT, made in the USA. Very good guitar. Those are about $1,000 new, and I got a really good deal on it because it was a scratch and dent, and then put some Brad Paisley, Lindy Fralin pickups in it. So I love that guitar. It's my favorite Telecaster that I've ever owned. And then over here, next to it, we have my favorite guitar amplifier right now. This is a Third Power Citizen Gain, and I love this for being able to just play at home. You can see I've got the hybrid master set really low, and even through this 2x12, I can sit here and have a real amplifier that sounds really good, and not disturb my family if they're in the other room watching a movie or something like that. And so that's been really cool to just have this amp during this time, because I never had an amp like this where I could just turn it down really quiet and it still sound like a real guitar amp. So that's pretty slick. All right, and then over here we have a guitar that I wanted forever and I finally got last year. This is my PRS Tremonti, and that's a really cool guitar that I finally got. So I've got kind of everything that I need just for doing basic tracks here at home. The Tremonti has Sir Thornbuckers in it, and so I've got some humbuckers, and I've got the Brad Paisley Lindy Fralins in the ASAT, so I've got the Telecaster sound, so I can do all of the country or rock sounding stuff that I might need to do if I want to put some layers down for a client. And then over here, I don't know that I'll actually get around to ever recording any acoustic guitar in the kitchen, but if I do, I've got this Martin DR, and this belongs to Goldman. But it's pretty inexpensive, and so rather than taking something nice out of the studio, I don't know, I would rather just leave the nice guitars locked up over there. But this guitar sounds freaking great, and so we actually used it on the my old Kentucky home video that we shot.
The sun shines bright on my own Kentucky home.
I brought home an SM7 just in case I need to do any voiceover-y type stuff. There it is. But yeah, this is my view right here every day, just hanging out, working with the kiddos in the next room, and making some records. Still got 8 Days Sober to work on, working on some tracks for Hugh Alverson, and picked up a couple of new clients last week that need some stuff mixed. So guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know that we're all going through something that is very similar, but also a little different for each and every person. And so I hope that while this is all happening, that you're at home with people that you love and that you're making a little bit of music. Stay safe, everybody, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know just, what it is that you're working on, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Thanks.